Hi everyone. You got me in rare form here. I've been working for 3 hours to try to figure out my Fairy Oracle YouTube channel on YouTube. And the best way for me to do it is through my phone. But you have to have 50 subscribers to stream live on YouTube with an Android or an iPhone, and I do not. I want to use my Fairy Oracle channel, not my Susi channel, and I can't tell you how frustrated I am right now. Maybe it's not showing, but internally I am extremely frustrated. I wanted to do a reading. It's Monday. I want to do 1 reading a week to start and gain a following. But here I am on Facebook Live. Such is life, I guess. So I'm going to do the reading with you, and then I'm going to see if somehow I can get that video over to YouTube and post it so I can get enough followers. We'll see. So this reading is going to be for this week, and I'm using my deck of cards, Light Fragments Auracle cards, and let's get started. I'm going to do a good shuffle. These cards are very big. They're hard to shuffle. My other deck, or my next deck, is going to be much smaller with a very lightweight stock, so you can actually shuffle the deck like a deck of playing cards. As a matter of fact, I want them to be that small. These are lovely, but they're too big for me, for my hands. And I always feel like I'm not shuffling them correctly. This is why I, move them all around. Okay, I'm going to pick a card for, as you can see, this is how I hold them. I don't see the cards before I pick them. So let's just ask a very simple question, because these readings will be generalized. They're not going to be for anyone in particular unless it resonates for that person. If you can see this one in the back flipped up, that doesn't always happen, but I'm going to pick that one up, put it down, and I'm going to pick another one. If you can see this one right here, same thing. And then I'm going to fan in the other direction and see what happens. Okay, this one right here seems to stand out. So now I'm going to put the deck down. I'm going to take these cards and I'm going to flip them over and read the cards. So the first card is the Relax card. I think this is very cool. This is a lizard that I painted for a soul aura for somebody that has a pet lizard many years ago. And basically, when they sent me the picture of the lizard, the first thing that came to my mind was that the lizard was just laying on its branch in the greenery around the lizard and relaxing. And I think because of the times that we live in, we're coming out of the pandemic now, I believe, At least it seems that way. I mean, Saturday and Sunday, crazy if you were out and about. People were driving everywhere. It was a beautiful couple of days. And I remember a year, 2 years ago, it wasn't like that. So everything is opening up. Everything is picking up. People are more relaxed about wearing masks, things like that. They're out there shopping. So we're starting to feel, and I'm speaking for myself, I'm starting to feel that intensity of rushing. And I don't like it. I really don't like it. I got spoiled during the pandemic. I loved the fact that everything about my life just slowed way down. And it's not like that now. It's almost like, you know, last summer it was busy, but things have been fairly slow, and then all of a sudden it just like, ooh, it's just been pushed way up there. So basically this card, which is in the past to the present moment, is all about taking time to relax and slowing down, you know, slowing down the pace, just kind of stopping for a little bit. Even if you're working, you know, just at lunchtime, put your phone down, take a walk, go sit outside, have your lunch. Slow down. At night when you get home, after you cook a meal, you know, if your kids are grown up, if they're not, well, you know, you have to take care of your kids, but slow down. And also take one day a week to rest, like on Sunday. You could relax by reading a book. You could sit in the sun. You could treat yourself to a bath. It's really about making the choice to take the time to do this. And it doesn't always have to be huge blocks of time, but definitely respite. Definitely, I used to take these power naps where I would sit in my chair at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon and like, you know, close my eyes, and before you know it, 20 minutes had passed. And it was enough to refresh me. Everybody needs to take the time to slow down. It's good for our health. It rejuvenates us. It rejuvenates our aura. And it doesn't need to cost anything, really. Taking a walk, you know, a slow walk before the bugs come out. Do it during the middle of the day if you have to when the sun is out and there aren't as many bugs. But this past card up to the present still applies. It still applies. One of the colors, the two colors here, we have violet, which is the color of intuition. And we have cobalt blue, which is the color of communication. And I'm narrowing this down to a very small description of those two colors. So use your intuition and also communicate your needs. If you need to be left alone for a little while, just say, it's not about you. You're good. I just need some time to go in the studio or go paint or read a book or take a bath or whatever it is. I need to be alone for a while. And that being alone with you, with yourself, is highly, highly intuitive. Because I remember years ago when I was younger, I had lots of busy stuff. It was like, I felt like I needed to control my external environment because my mind was just so chock full of stuff. A lot of it was unhealed things that I needed to heal. It was conditioning from the way I was raised. And I'm not placing a judgment, good or bad. It's just the way it was. And so I liked a lot of I don't want to say chaos, but I liked a lot of activity because all that activity kept me from going within and experiencing what I needed to experience so that I could be where I am today. So much happier, so much more content, so much more at peace with who I am as a person, despite everybody else around me. And learning how to love people despite who they are, because we don't have any control over that. We don't. The only ones we have control over are ourselves. So that's the first card. The second card is boundaries. And oh my gosh, this is so great because this card is a great adjunct to this card. Setting boundaries is extremely important. And you know, I remember going back to 2014 or whatever, even before that, setting a boundary for me, you know, setting a boundary, what I will allow, what I wouldn't allow in my life, was a lot different than the way I set a boundary now. I would be like, you know, I wish you would stop saying that or doing that or whatever, you know, and it was like, that's not going to happen anymore. No. Cancel. The boundaries that I have today are saying things like, that doesn't resonate with me, I would rather not, I don't mind if you would like to do this, but I would prefer not to. I don't, you know, a lot of I don't appreciate, I could do better with this. No, I don't think I'm going to take that job. It's whatever it is. Setting a boundary creates that environment of peace, relaxation, all the things that we crave and we need in order to be good human beings. And sometimes we're not good human beings because we have all this chaos going on that we allow, and we haven't set any boundaries. Could be fear. What are they going to think about me? It could be conditioning. I wasn't raised that way. It could be thinking about the future. And if I do this now, what's going to happen then? Lots of reasons. But boundaries are reasonable limits that we set for ourselves first. And oftentimes when we set a boundary for ourselves, it ripples out and other people get offended. We can't help that they get offended. We can't help it. That's their business. That's something going on inside of them. But if we cave, then we've eliminated that boundary. So we really have to be sure that it's a boundary that we need and we want to keep. And anytime anybody crosses that boundary, we have the right to follow through with a reasonable set of consequences. And I'll give you an example. This is so funny. I think it's funny looking back. I remember saying to a person, I don't know how many times, I really do not appreciate it when you talk to me that way. I really don't appreciate it that you call me 50 million times during the day. Finally, I laid a boundary, and the boundary was, I am going to block my calls until you get the message that I do not appreciate this? And I did. And guess what? It doesn't happen hardly as much anymore. I mean, I would say it's 80% better. It's not perfect, but it's 80% better. And that 20% I can deal with. So say what you mean and mean what you say with love, because not everybody is going to accept your boundaries. Don't know what to say, but that's the way it's going to be. Now, interesting, we have the violet intuition color, we have the communication color, the cobalt blue, and on this card we have as the core color green, and then we have cobalt blue, and then we have intuition. So, getting back to being grounded and getting back to nature and getting back to that peace within, communicating that, and then refreshing our aura. So this week, take some time, maybe Sunday, because this is a week's worth of video. Take some time, set your boundaries with love. And the third card is the Indigo Child card. And Indigo children, I've done so much research on this kind of thing that I have my own opinion. But Indigo children came to this planet to change it. They're going to be your young women that decide they're not going to put up with the traditional ways of relationships. They want a career. They're going to be your artists and your musicians and your not following the status quo. There is a time frame, supposedly, that the Indigo children incarnated onto our planet, but you know what? I'm kind of an Indigo child myself, and I am too old to fit into the stereotypical time frame for the Indigo children to come to this planet. So what I did was I thought, DNA. I mean, how can you just narrow down to, 1880 to 1999, or how can you, 1980, to 1999. How can you narrow that down when these children have a lineage and they have a genealogy and they have DNA, and their parents more than likely set the stage for this too. So Indigo children, they're very creative. They march to the beat of a different drummer. They don't follow the crowd. They are very independent, and they like to be. It's not like they go, I'm independent. No, they like it. They like that's who they are. They're leaders. A lot of them are leaders. They're out in the forefront, changing things. A lot of Indigo children are environmentalists. So any category has an Indigo child. But they also have a strong will. A strong will and a strong ego. And I don't mean ego as in a narcissistic type of thing. I mean very strong, can't be swayed. Nope, this is the way I see it, and I like it, and I'm going to do something about it. That kind of thing. The younger indigos, if they're directed properly, like you might see a strong-willed child. Strong-willed children, if they're directed properly, indigos, then, they become great leaders, and they become great humanitarians for change in our society. And we really need that. I mean, I feel we need that. I feel that we need people that are not afraid to upset the status quo. And there are going to be people that don't like that. I may not like that. That's my problem. But it's something we definitely need. And I'm all for it. I have an indigo child. And I'm telling you, she's the one that I go to when I want an honest answer, because I don't want fluff. If I have something that I really need an honest answer, I go to her, because she's not going to beat around the bush, try to make me feel good. She's just going to tell me. And that's what I want. I also like going to older indigos that will not be afraid to tell me the truth. And that, I've been to counseling a few times in my life, but the counseling session that I went to, because I was ready, was the counselor was not afraid to piss me off. And that says a lot, because sometimes if I get that way, I'll be like, I'm done. I'm done. But I wanted to heal so badly. And I felt that the outcome was going to be so much better than where I was, that I was willing to stick it out. And I'm so glad that I did. She did not tell me what I wanted to hear. She told me what I didn't want to hear. And yeah, it was great. So this indigo child, now we have a very interesting thing going on here. We've got purple back full circle to the intuitive color. But then we have another interesting color, which is it's the color indigo. And it's more towards the maroon, like the blue violet. Not quite blue violet, but more with the red in it. And that color is a very strong color too. Usually when I see that color in an aura, it's an unusual color. I don't see it very often, but when I do see it, it means that that individual cannot be bullshitted. I'm sorry for swearing, but this is the only other way to say. That person cannot, it's almost like they've got you figured out. And also they are very strong-willed, and they kind of know what they want. Even if it hasn't transpired yet, they know what they want. And then the next color, I love it. It's more of a, I don't know if you can see it because I have my ring light on. It's more of an emerald green. It's a very earthy emerald forest type green. And indigos love to be outside, whether it's in the sun at the beach or in the mountains, walking nature. They love to be outside. A lot of fairy energy people are indigos. And I'm not going to put an age limit on that. So what do we have from all of this? We have take time to slow down. In the process of that, set some boundaries and don't have any fear, especially if you're speaking your truth and you're saying it in love. Whatever happens, you can't be responsible for. And the indigo child, if this is you, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. because the world needs you. And this is for the future. So I'm just going to put it out there. If there is something that you are thinking about doing, and it's so different than what everybody else is doing, and you're like, I don't know if this is going to work, just start doing it. Start doing it for the love of it. And let it grow. Just let it sprout. The fairies, if you believe in fairies, I believe in fairies. I believe in fairy energy. I believe in fairy light beings, very small, angelic light beings. They will give you the information that you need, not through other people, straight from them. And you will know what it is that you need to do. Follow your intuition. Now I'm going to pull a root card, and that's from the bottom of the deck. So how I do this is like a tree. I can do 6 cards for a detailed reading, but I'm only going to do 3. So these are like the branches. And then the root card I pull from the bottom, which would be the base of the tree. Okay? And this is the trunk. This is the trunk of the tree. So let's read what the trunk of the tree is pulling together for the branches. Guardians. So this could be guardian angels. Guardians, you know, I've done soul auras for people, and I've actually seen an Indian standing behind them. I've seen other beings, people, possibly. Not real detailed, but, you know, I can kind of tell if they're wearing a hat or if they have glasses on or whatever. But this is about guardian angels or guardians that offer us divine protection. So for this coming week, right up until the new moon, we might be in a position where we're looking for protection of some sort. We're looking for answers, but we don't want to make the wrong decision. We're going to be signing papers on some contract, but we're looking for guidance so that we don't miss anything. We don't sign on the wrong line. We don't miss the fine print. We ask all the right questions, and it's okay to ask a guardian for help. It's okay to ask your guardian angel, because that's basically, guardian angels they're there to catch us if we stumble, so we don't fall. So no fear here. Just, try to, dot all the I's and cross all the T's, and don't step into something without asking all the proper questions. But they'll steer us in the direction for our highest good. And you know what I love about guardians? They don't see us in our human form. They see us in our highest form. They don't see all the mistakes we've made. They don't see any of that. They see us at our greatest potential. They don't see us. They see what we're doing, but they're androgynous. They don't feel emotion like human beings feel emotion. They're way higher than that, and they can see 360 degrees. And if we're going through something that's really difficult, they're not going to intervene if they know it's for our highest good. So there's nothing wrong with asking. And they're gonna answer us when the timing is right. And they're going to guide us, and they're going to, nudge us. Have you ever been in a position where, I remember one time I was walking, and I was walking fast. I have to get there. I have to be there. And I tripped and I stumbled. And when I tripped and I stumbled, my eyes focused on my watch. At the time, I was wearing a watch. And I looked at my watch and I went, what am I doing? What am I doing? I've got time. I don't need to be walking this fast. It was part of me. It was what I did every single day. And I got up. Luckily, I didn't get hurt. And I'm like, okay, I stumbled. I didn't get hurt. But it was kind of like, wake up, slow down. You're going to give yourself a heart attack. That kind of thing. So, guardian angels offer us divine protection and divine answers and divine guidance. And it's okay to ask. I talk to my mom a lot in spirit, and she delivers. She delivers. So, friends, for this week, don't forget to rest. Take your power naps. Take a whole day on the weekend and just say, I'm just going to spend this day relaxing. Don't forget to, what's the second? Oh, set boundaries so that you do have the time. Sometimes we feel like everything is pulling at us all at once. And my experience is sometimes we don't want to upset the apple cart, and so we do more than we need to. And saying no is a boundary. And also, the indigo child. If you are an indigo child, if you have an indigo child, it's a good thing. And then don't forget to ask your guardians for help and accept the guidance when it comes. That's what I have for this week, folks. And hopefully I can figure out this YouTube thing, because I'm going to go on Facebook, or maybe down below. I'm going to put the link up for my YouTube channel, and I'm just going to ask people to subscribe because I need 50 subscribers. It's kind of counterintuitive to me. I mean, how do you get subscribers if you don't put a video out? What do? Tell people to subscribe to your channel without you putting anything out? So I've got you YouTubers out there, if you see this live video, message me or something, because I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I got the channel all set up. I got everything all set up. And then when I went to hit stream video, it said that I didn't have access to that. And I know that I do because I've already set my account up 2 months ago. So we will get another video up when I can figure out how to do that. But until then, have a great day and be well and know you're loved. Know you're loved. Even if you feel all alone, there are so many beings out there supporting you and loving you, including me. Bye-bye. Take care.